Good morning all, how are we all? Welcome back to TF Custom Shaving Brushes Workshop. Hopefully we have no issues this morning. I'll explain that in a minute. So we'll just give everybody some time to get in, and then we'll get started. So, the issue the other night was, as I found out after, it was my ISP, my internet provider. They obviously had something wrong with their network, and I'd done some speed tests for a regular period after the stream sort of collapsed and finished on me the other night, and I was only getting something like about 1.9 megabytes per second upload, where it's normally up around the 40. So I done a speed test on it this morning and I was getting about 39 this morning. So the fact that I'm only using between 8 and 9 megabytes per second upload to stream, we should have more than enough this morning. So hopefully no repeats of that. It's just, like I said, we had about 70 odd, I've got about 70 videos up now, and we've only had an issue twice, and that's the second one was the other night. So it's been pretty good, so I really can't complain, but hopefully we don't get too many of them, because it was a pain in the butt to try and overcome, but in the end I realised there was nothing I could do about it. It was just my internet provider. So yeah, but anyway, it's showing good this morning. I'm also monitoring the stream health on the YouTube Live section of YouTube, and it's showing that the stream is healthy and the connection is excellent, and it's all green. So no issues with that, I know nothing. So hopefully we're all good, and that's how it should be most of the time. But anyway, yes, hopefully no issues today, Brett. Oh, witchy woman's coming. 15 minutes ago. What are you doing on here? You should be away trying that soap out, Amber. Excellent. All good. Anyway, I'm going to get started, guys and ladies and gents. I'm going to get started. How does that sound? So I've already squared off this end. I've drilled my hole out to 25 and 18. And I'm just going to take it out to 27, because this one's going down to Sergeant to be knotted. So let me get going, eh? So just nice and gently, pushing straight in, keeping the tool fairly level, until I feel it hit the bottom, and then once I hit the bottom, I just take it back in a bit and it just clears the bottom out. Okay, I'll just give that a little bit of air. Now I've got young George from Billy Goat Brushworks coming down this morning. About a week and a half or so ago, his lathe decided to play up, and it turned out it was one of the circuit boards within his speed control. So basically he was out of action. So rather than be out of action, I seen he put a post up saying that he had issues with his lathe, and it'd be a little while before he could get back online on Instagram and that. So basically I had a brand new lathe sitting in a box in the front, which used to be the shop, and basically offered him to come down, and if he wanted to come down and pick it up. So he came down and picked it up about a week or so ago, and that got him out of trouble and was able to allow him to keep making shaving brushes. So George is returning that down the lathe back to me this morning as he's picking up his repaired one mid-morning this morning. So yeah, so he'll be dropping in, but I don't think we'll get him into the stream. I'll probably just continue on, so I think he's just going to drop it off and go and pick up his other lathe. But that's George from Billy Goat Brushworks. All right. Now this one is the one that I done which had 7 colours poured in it. So I took the colours off a photograph that the fella sent me, and I might actually be able to show you that photograph on my phone. So just give me a second and I'll see if I can pull it up. Where was he? Where was he? I think it might have been in Facebook where he messaged me. See if I can find it. There he is. So the photograph that he sent me was this one. Now I can't make it any bigger, but I'll bring it closer to camera 2. So I'll cut to camera 2, and if I can, hopefully if I can get that in shot. No, camera 2 is not going to be any good for the lights. Let me try camera 3. Sort of, but not very well. Too much reflection with the lights. And I think you can get the gist of the colours there. So that was the one I was telling you about with the sort of lightish blue lake with the embankment, which is a sort of browny goldy colour. And then the trees are all covered in white. And then we've got a little bit of light blue in the sky, as you can see there. And there's a little bit of gold through it, a little bit of brownish. So this blank was basically the colours were taken from this and put into this. And it's a bit hard to see on the screen. I wished I could get that bigger, but I can't. Oh, I could probably download it. I might get it bigger there. Yeah, there we go. It won't turn around though. So if I just take a section of it, and if I show you that, you can see the colours are pretty much spot on. It will just depend how the handle turns out. Okay. It's a shame about the light, but anyway. Yeah, we're catching light regardless of where we go with it. So, but anyway, the colours look fairly good to my eye. So we'll see how we go when we actually turn it, I guess, eh? Now, let me just check that for 27. Yep, 27, bang on, and we should be 18, which we're just slightly over, so that allows me to round off the top. So the shape of this one is just the standard shape that I've been doing a lot of lately. People seem to like that shape actually, so so now I'm just going to start rounding off that top. I'll put a couple of pencil marks on it, and then we can start doing what we do. So I'm going to go about 20, 24, 25 there for the top section, and then we're going to go about 68, 69 there. Yeah, when I go in the end in this way, Sam, with the skew chisel, when I go in that way there, like that, when I go in that way, that's me opening the hole up, because you can't, there's not a 27mm Forstner bit. So what I do is I drill it with a 25, and then I take a mil off here, which means I'm taking a mil off here and I'm taking a mil off there, which opens it up to 27, okay? So you've always got to remember that on a wood lathe. You'd think if you take a, you know, if you've got a 25mm hole and you want 27, you'd think you'd have to take 2mm off, but you're actually only taking 1mm off, because you're taking 1mm off here and 1mm off there. So that equates to the 27. Some people don't get their head around that, but yeah, it's pretty straightforward and easy in my books. But okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start rounding off the top a little bit, just till I start getting my rounded shape that I want. And then once I'm happy with the top shape, then what I'll do is I'll bring the tailstock in for some support. So again, as I'm doing, as we said before, nice light cuts on the end. Now one other thing I'm going to show you, Amber, that will help you is that when you're turning, always keep the tool into your side and keep a nice hold on there, but you shouldn't be getting the white knuckle grip. You really want to hold the tool fairly loosely, and you should be moving your body and not the tool. So you can see I've got the tool tucked in against my side, and I'm actually swinging my body round, which in turn swings the tool. And that gives you the most control over your tool if you keep it into your body. If you start doing this, you can. So if you bring the tool away from your body, you can still turn, but it's not the best way to do it. The best way is to keep it in close to your body and then just move your body, and that'll give you a much cleaner and a much more controlled shape and control of the tool. You will see me sometimes pull the tool away from my body, but it's normally where I can't get in if I have it into my body, you know. Okay, so I've got that reasonably round there, so what I'll do now is I'll bring the tailstock in to give me support, because I'm going to start digging in a little bit deeper now to shape the top section. And we just lock that off, reset the tool rest, and then I can go in and make my cut. So even with that cut, you can see I've got the tool tucked in. I'll just keep it on the screen for a minute just so you can see. I'm just going to give this tool a little touch up again, the diamond card. Grey Dog, how are you, buddy? I'm doing the lathe dance, Grey Dog, the lathe dance, mate. You know what it's about. So this is getting a 26mm nut fitted to it with by Sarjan. I was never no good at dancing. Only when I was drunk. So all I'm doing now is I'm just bringing that into an equal curve off the centre point of this now, just trying to get it reasonably equal and even so that it's a nice curve, it flows. And I think we're almost there. Not quite. And I'll probably get a better look at it once I'll take the tailstock away just to have a look, and I've still got to do a tiny little bit of rounding over on that very top of the handle. And I might do that now. We're almost at that point. So we'll just release the live centre again, the tailstock. Get rid of that. And then I'll just very carefully just round over that top edge to finish that off now. And a little bit more there. And I'll probably bring the tool rest back in very, very shortly. Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm just going to that a little bit of a clean up in there. And I'll stop the lathe shortly, have a bit of a look. And I think we're going not too bad there. Alright, I think that'll do that. Let's tidy that. And again, that'll do it. Okay. Alright, now we'll go in with the carbide, and what I might do is I'll put you to camera 3 so you can see what's going on there. Get that nearer centre of the screen for you, and then we're in the right one with the little picture-in-picture, and now we'll just check that we've got the height right. Yeah, it's not too bad. Make sure it's locked off. And just nice and carefully we'll go in and start shaping here now. So as you can hear there, it's a little, the blank's just a little bit out of round. That's all right, it'll be round by the time we're finished. I'll clear those streamers away in a minute. At the moment they're not in my way where I'm cutting. Alright, starting to get there now though. Right. We shall keep going. Anthony, how are you, buddy? Have I missed anybody else that's came into the stream? I don't think so. We got the usual crew in here, Anthony. Haven't seen Razor. Must be too early in the morning for Razor. Right, so we'll go back to the carbide now. We'll just take a little bit more on the underside of that ring, just to thin it out a little bit more. So I'm just getting a feel for the shape now. Trying to get my proportions right again. And as you can see, just very, very light cuts, just to So I think now I've probably gone thin enough there. So I think what I'll do now is I'll set my bottom. So there we go. And I'm liking the size, and it should be okay with a 26mm knot in it. So I'm just going to go in here now and put a pattern mark in, set my bottom depth. Just need to drop that tool rest down a little bit more. And we'll come in and just underneath that pattern mark. And I might just give that a little touch with the diamond card as well, just to put a new edge on that point there. And that should be all it needs. So you can see that's cutting much better there now, just with that tiny little rub on the diamond card. It was kind of chipping before, whereas now it's actually cutting. Anthony, you're meant to come in when all the sanding's finished. That's the slow, boring part, all the sanding. Okay, so now I'm just going to take a bevel on that bottom side just to give me a little bit more clearance. Can't get any more there. So even here, I'm still keeping that tool into my body. I think I need to just lift the tool rest up just a little bit. I haven't had a look at the colours yet in this, so since we've started turning it, I'm hoping it's going to be quite nice. Like I said, it's got 7 different colours in it, this one. We've still got a little bit of a ledge there. That's better. Okay, let's stop it and have a bit of a look. Oh, nicely. I'm thinking this is going to look very nice. bottom a little bit more. Probably don't want to take too much more off of here, and I might still have to go in there and take a little bit more with the carbide. And then I think that'll give us the look that I'm trying to get with this one. Right, we'll just go in and give it a little touch up with the carbide. Just a little. Knew that was good. And now I think I just need to refine the curve from the bottom there a little bit, and I think we're almost there. So I'm just going to give that a little clean up now. And that'll do us, I think. Maybe just slim the top down a little touch. Excuse me if my head gets in the way of the camera here. Yeah, I think just a little bit more. Okay, let's have a low key. that shape looks okay. Okay, it's going to have some nice features in it, this one, I think. So, we can take the live centre away. And now we'll just run through our sanding papers again. The lengthy must-do boring part. Stream still showing is excellent. Data rate for uploading is still jumping around between 8.9 and 9.17. So thus far the stream is looking solid as a rock. Alright, a little bit of a hand rub with this grit. No, never really, never really, mate. I think maybe once in my very early days, but not for a while. But I understand what you're saying. Should take the live centre out. I never normally bother. I don't bump it, but I guess there's always that risk. I got no danger of doing it on my big lathe because I can slide the tailstock about 2.5 metres away from the headstock. I think it's, yeah, 2 metres. It's either 2 or 2.5. I think it's probably 2 metres on my big one, the bed length. Did you all see the photographs of the brush from the other night? Or the handle, I should say. Actually, it was a brush because we set the knot in that one. Did you all see the photographs? It came up really nice, eh? So it's on its way to customer in Tasmania. It's posted and on its way. He was very rapt with the photographs, so hopefully he's as impressed when he receives it. Yeah, the fluting stream's next, but I'm going to have to do a fair bit of work to get that one happening because I haven't got a handle turned for it yet. And I'd like to show you on a handle, so I'll have to get my finger out. I've got until Tuesday, I think, is the next stream, so hopefully I can get it all done and sorted. It's just I've got to move the whole, I mean, I've got the lathe set up with the table on it and the router set up, but it will need to be all set with a specific router bit in it. And I need to move, the biggest job is moving all the recording stuff. That's the biggest job. And possibly I might need to move the lathe, which is an even bigger job, because it weighs a ton. And I'm only on my own, so. But hopefully I can get it sorted for Tuesday. Worst case scenario, it won't be on a handle, it'll be on a round piece of timber or something, just to show you the principles as to how it all works. But hopefully I can get something done. Okay, now we'll go on to this one. I'm hoping I've hit the brief really well with this one, but we'll see once we get it finished and start shining it up. That's when we'll really get to see the colours. It's really easy. It's nothing complicated. It's just time consuming. I mean, it would be great if I was to set up and do, you know, maybe half a dozen handles at the same time. That would make it really worthwhile. But if you had to set up for one handle, it wouldn't be feasible because the amount of setup time would price the handle out of the water. You know, it would blow it out of the water. So it's not feasible really to do one at a time. You'd have to set up to do multiples and all the same, because every time you change the shape of the handle or the sizes, then the jigs change that control the router and the depth of cut and the angle of cut and all that sort of thing. So it's not an easy process by no means. So I mean, a lot of the work I'll probably have to end up doing prior to the stream. And in the stream I'll be showing you and explaining to you how it all works and demonstrate how it cuts and that sort of thing. But we'll see how we go anyway. I mean, if you could set up a permanent jig and all your handles were exactly the same shape and size, then, like I said, it would be much easier, but and that's the good thing about all these streams. It lets you see and lets customers see exactly what goes into making a brush if it's done and done properly, you know. It's not a slow process, it's quite a lengthy process, so really for the amount of time you put into them, you'd never recoup it back in the price that you sell them for. So a lot of the time we do it because we love doing it, and sense of satisfaction seeing each one finished and the appreciation that other people have for them. That's what makes it all worthwhile. No, I'm referring to the cost of a handle and the time it takes to do it, especially with the fluting. It's a timely process to set it all up. It's not a 2-minute job, you know. And then the additional time it takes, like you think this sanding takes a long time. When you do the flutes, it takes even longer. Because you've got to hand sand into all the flutes to clean them up. You can't just polish it without sanding it to a really fine grit. Otherwise you won't get the finish on it. Okay. Well, I don't really need to advertise it, mate. I've done the Romans a long time ago with the fluting. It's not about that, it's just about having something different for you guys to see in the stream, and you know, you get an understanding and appreciation of what goes into the process of doing it, you know. Yeah, wait for the wet amber. This one's going to be a stunner, I can tell you now. I mean, I'm only into the second dry sanding grit, and I can already see what's underlying in this. Oh, here go the home renovations next door. Yeah, you've got to work well with the resins too when you're doing 7 colours. Yeah, this one was done off camera. If you remember, we didn't do this one in the live. I done this one the following morning after the live. Excuse me. And the only reason I done it like that was because there was a fair bit in mixing the colours to get the colours right to start with, and then obviously pouring the 7 colours into the mould. But there has been larger pours, larger colour mixes done than that. 12, 13 I've seen colours. And we may have lost, you know, I mean, some of the colours were very small in quantity that were poured into the mould, because it was only to put a sort of like a coloured highlight in to the other main colours. So hopefully it's hopefully they've been retained and not lost within the mix, within the pour. And I won't really know that until I get onto the wet sanding and then and see how everything's sort of shaping up. But from what I can see, it's looking nice. We've certainly captured the white for the snow. We've got the bluey green for the water, and obviously the blue for the sky. And then we've got some of the darker colour, which is the embankment up from the lake to the trees. And I did put some, I always forget that name of the pigment, where it sort of throws a light, but a bit of like different colours. Not chameleon, because the chameleon throws more colours. This is only just sort of like a two colour thing. But there was a gold and there was a green one that I put in, but they were very small quantities, and that was just colours that I saw in the trees in the photograph. So I'm hoping that a little bit of that shines through somewhere, and that's all I wanted, just a little bit. You guys got a lot of secret men's and women's business going on in this chat here. Excuse me. Okay, that'll do it for that grit. Let's just grab another one. Next one in line. Oh. All right. Okay, I think it might be time for me to throw up. Excuse me. So thanks to Razor and Sam, Brett, T-Man, patrons on the TF Custom Shaving Brushes Patreon page. So if anybody wants to add a little bit of support, feel free to do so. We got some interesting things coming up soon. T-Man will get discount on his new brushes that he's buying. So the one that we done the other night was for T-Man, and then I've got to do up his hybrid barrel one, chameleon one now, and then they'll be sent off to T-Man, and he'll get his discount on both those brushes for being a patron to TF Custom Shaving Brushes. Plus we're going to have a lot of other things happening as well, so Anthony put me on to the fella that's going to do the artwork up for me when he gets the time, so you know, that might be another week or two away yet. He is kind of busy at present, but he is going to get onto it for me. And that'll all be tied in with the Patreon page. So once again, fellas, thanks very much for the support. I really do appreciate it. Much appreciated. These guys over here, these guys, okay? Thanks very much, fellas. And everybody else that joins in the lives as well. It's all much appreciated. So thanking you all. Right, we'll put up the please subscribe now. If anybody is in watching and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. I'd really much appreciate it. And click the little bell below as well, and you'll get notified of any up and coming videos, new lives, and any other posts that get, any other videos that get put up in the channel. So it's worth it. Doesn't cost you anything. Right, we'll get in with this one now. What jaws did you get, Amber? Excuse me. Oh, okay. Yeah, Nova make pretty good ghee. They've been around a while, Nova. My first proper turning lathe was a Nova. Is it a Nova 3000? It's sort of an older model, but it was still a good solid little lathe. And I sold it, and I got just as much for it as what I paid for it when I sold it after I'd had it for a while. And then I moved on to the Vicmarks from there. But the Vicmarks are very expensive. They're not for everybody. But once you've got them, they'll last for years. They'll outlast me. I mean, I'll never need another lathe. And being that Vicmark are based here at their factory, the manufacturing factory for all over the world is based here in Brisbane, it's easy to get parts if anything does go wrong, but there's not much goes wrong with the Vicmark, to be honest. It's normally the variable speed drives that fail, excuse me, or the switches, you know. But there's not much else can go wrong with them, really. Right, that's that get gone. Get on to the next one. It really doesn't matter what you're turning on, as long, I mean, it does make a difference to the quality of your work eventually, but it doesn't matter about what lathe it is you turn on. The main thing is you're enjoying it and you know, having fun doing it. So that's the main thing. It's just another hobby, so why not enjoy it? That's what it's all about, enjoying it, having a bit of fun along the way with it. I should move these over to the other shot now, shouldn't I? Put these on that one. Yeah, well, they're known all over the world. A lot of professional wood turners use them, the Vicmarks. There is the American one as well. I forget what that's called now. Robust, is it Robust, or they're a fairly popular one with a lot of the pros, I believe. Was it the Black Beauty, and I think there's a few different ones. Well, that's another stream we need to do, is a walk through the workshop, show you all the tools and machinery that I've got in this little workshop here. That I need to move 101 things before I can start a job. That's why I like the lathes, because the lathes are all set up permanently to use all the time. But all my other stuff, I've normally got to move stuff to be able to use them. But that'll be another one for down the track, I suppose. Just show you all the equipment and explain what they're used for. And And then we might have another Q&A. I think I've done a Q&A one right in the very beginning. But maybe we can do another Q&A, and it can be related to brushes or turning or tools or equipment or anything about, you know, what I've done in the past or what my plans are for the future or whatever, anything at all. We might have another QA one at some stage. And you got a couple of real pretty famous turners over there, female turners over there too, like Cindy Drozda and Ashley, is it Ashley Hargreaves or Ashley, I forget her surname now, the young lass. There's a few others as well. Just going to get in there again with the the foam pad as a backer to the paper, just to get a little bit more in the detail there. That's enough. Okay, this is shaping up really nice. Okay, second last dry one. Oh, oopsie daisy. Just give me a sec, I think that might be George from Billy Oates. Oh no. Okay. Yeah, she's going to be a stunner, this one. It really is. I just hope I've sort of replicated all the colours. That's all he really wanted. The colours reminded him of, what was it he put? Let me just check and I'll read it to you, what he actually put to me. Let me just check. So inbox. Excuse me. If you can somehow capture this image in a handle, not literally obviously, I would be very happy. But there was, here it is. To be honest, I'm not really sure what to tell you. First thing, and I was just asking him what he wanted in a handle, and he just says, to be honest, I'm not really sure what to tell you. First thing I can specify is that I want to fit a 26mm knot, so it's a 26mm rhodium. I don't necessarily want a hybrid handle. It was more the colours and scheme of Surf's Up that really made me go wow. And the fact that it reminded me of scenes from the Adriatic Sea and also Plitvice lakes in Croatia. I also love that type of blue colour, but I'm partial to shades of blue in general. And he liked the Galaxy handle, but the Galaxy handle was obviously a hybrid, but he liked those deep blues. But the picture that he sent reminds him of the Adriatic Sea and also Plitvice lakes in Croatia. So there you go. That's what that's the brief that I got to try and replicate the colour. We had some tinted colours put in this as well, which would have been the light blue for the water and the light sort of greeny blue that we mixed in as well. So that's Nigel. How are you, buddy? We're just going to be, we've got one more grip to go on this one, and then we'll be hitting this with a wet. And this is going to pop, I reckon. Pop, pop, pop. Yeah, so that was the brief that I had for this handle and the colours and obviously the photograph that I was sent. So hopefully I've managed to sort of replicate that in some way. It's nice when you get a brief, because then you can sort of, you know what you've got to aim for, you know. And if it's not achievable, then I'll tell the person that it's not really achievable or it's beyond my limits, you know. If they request something that that's just going to be impossible to do, or you know, something that I don't have confidence in doing. But majority of the time when it comes to the resin cast, I'm all good with that, as long as I've got some either identified colours to work with or something to work with, and then basically just go from there, you know. So yeah, so it should come up quite nice, this one, I think, and hopefully he likes it, because that's what it's mainly about. I can already see some of the translucent stuff in it, so that's going to give the handle nice depth and dimension. And just as long as we've got the colours close to the photograph, I think we'll be good. And looking at it before, comparing it with the photo, it looked like I had pretty much got the colours right. So we'll see how we go. We've only got one more grit to go and then we'll be there. You'll see the wet. That's, as soon as we hit it with the wet, that's when you see the true colours pop out. So that was George dropping off the lathe. I heard him out the front there. So hopefully he gets his repaired lathe back and it's all good. I think he said that's the second time the car's blown up on him. So it must be a fairly ongoing thing with those particular lathes. I have heard of them going before on those particular lathes too, so hopefully hopefully he gets another bit out of it before it goes again, if it does. If it was me, I'd be keeping a spare one, I think, just in case. I wouldn't think it'd be frightfully expensive. It's just like a PC control board for obviously the speed controller, you know. But then again, I could be wrong. It could be a pricey piece. You just don't know, eh? Right, we'll just get in there a little bit. Well, the stream's rock solid this morning, so like I said, hopefully he's gone, mate. He just dropped off at the front and he's gone, mate. Otherwise I would have. But he might. I think George is he's a fairly shy sort of a guy too. So nice fella. But he might not have wanted to come on camera anyway, mate. So not everybody likes getting up in front of the camera, as you know, Brett. And I think he was pretty keen to get over to here in Forbes to get his either his part or his lathe back repaired. So I'm not sure whether he had it into them just to get the part, or whether whether they were actually carrying out the repair for him. I'm not sure. Mate, I used to be a little bit, I wouldn't say timid, but I used to be a little bit shy, all that sort of stuff as well. I never used to like getting my photographs taken and all that sort of thing. But in one of my jobs, I was travelling all over the world, 6-7 days a week. I think I might have told you before. And I was actually giving presentations to groups of, you know, anywhere from 6 people up to, you know, 30-40 people, and doing, you know, presentations to them and product installation training and stuff. And the meetings would maybe go, presentations would maybe go for 3 or 4 hours sometimes. And that just, having done that for a number of years, that just sort of got me in the way where I wouldn't care whether I was presenting in front of 100 people now, you know. Right, one more grit to go, which is the last fine one, and that should be us. We should be onto the wet, so we'll have to top up my get fresh water. I forgot to top that up before I started the strings, so I will have to go and get a little bit of fresh water. Yeah, he does all his own casting as well. He comes up with some wicked castings as well. So I had a good chat to him when he was down picking up the lathe initially. It was the first time I'd come across George. Nice fella. Right, just get into here now. He does a lot of synthetic brushes. All right, on to the wets with this one. So now we'll get to see what it's really going to look like. I'm hoping so, T-Man. It's a nice mix of colours actually. Like I said, it was a 7-colour pour, and I had to play with the colours to get the colours where I wanted them to be the same, if not very, very similar and close to the ones that were shown in the picture. So hopefully he gets that same feel from this as what he gets from when he looks at the picture. And that's really what we're trying to replicate. We're not trying to replicate the picture itself, just basically the colours, so it reminds them of what it's about. So I'll get rid of these sandpapers now because they're all done. And we'll have to just go and fill this up, guys, so I'll be back in a sec. Just let me turn off that mic for a second, and I'll turn up the music a little bit. Well, I'll leave the music where it is. Here we go. It's a very refreshing colour, or mix of colours. Now you can see, well, I can see it probably more, but I can see the green, slight tinges of the green coming through, and there's also the tinges of, little tinges of gold in it as well. And then we've got the white for the snow kind of thing, and then we've got this nice bluey green translucent traveling up into the handle as well. Yeah, I'm pleased with it actually. That's what I wasn't sure whether the I forget what they're called now. I forget that word all the time. But this slight touch of green and slight touch of gold, I was hoping that I was going to get that very slight touch, as I mentioned earlier. I didn't want a lot of it, I just wanted a touch of it, and I think I've achieved it, so I'm pretty happy with that. That was the part that I couldn't see until the wet, so it was the only part that I was concerned about, because the bluey green I've got, I was quite happy with that at the time. And so yeah, the more I'm seeing it, the more I'm pleased with it, so that's good. Hopefully he will be too. Anyway, that should do the wet there. Now I'll get my pads sorted out. The soft touch pads, and we'll go in with these now. And it's really, when you get briefs like the brief I got for this one, it's really about getting the right colours to start with, obviously. And I mean, you're not always going to have the exact colour, so you need to tint them down with other pigments to get them to the colour that you need. And then it's all about that, but it's also about the quantities of each colour that you put in. And being mindful that some colours like black and dark browns and stuff like that can overtake certain other colours, so you just got to be mindful of all that. And the other thing you got to be mindful of is that some colours will mix together to make a yucky colour that you don't want, or you never wanted in the blank. So you've got to be careful of that as well. But once you've played around with it a fair bit, it's just experience on how much a colour you need to put in, what colours are going to do with one another, and then trying your best to get the outcome that you want and the way that you pour it and the way that you pour the colours. So sometimes you nail it, 100%, and then other times it can turn out a mess for you, you just don't quite get it right. So yeah, it's all practice and experience, I guess. I mean, some people just mix colours and just hope for the best, and again, some of them will work and look beautiful and others will look shitty. So when I've got briefs like this one, I try and nail it first time, because resin costs money, and your time as well. It takes you a bit of time. I mean, I think we were on that casting stream, the last one that we done, I think we were on there for about close enough 3 hours, or just over 3 hours, I can't remember now. But I mean, we only done 3 blanks, you know. So there's an hour of your time just to per blank, cast a blank. And then you've still got to demold it, you know, take it out the pressure pot, demold it, get it ready for turning. So there's a lot goes into it. Right. And then it's little tricks that you can play as well in the casting is, you know, whether you add clear tinted colours. So like in the case of this one where I've got the bluey green coming up through the handle, which is a tint, it's not a solid colour, it's a tint. So then it gives depth to the other colours that are overlaid over it or under it, you know. Yeah, gold and green, there's a little bit of green in there as well. You can see green in there and a little bit of green up here, here and here. The lights might be blowing it out a little bit in the video. I'm not sure how it's showing up in the video. So they were the ones that I wanted, just very, very subtle tints of. Because when you look at the photograph, there's subtle tints of very light greenish in the trees under the snow. And then there's also goldish tints in it as well, which again I've managed to capture that using those I forget the name of them. That's annoying me. I'll have to go and find that name now. Oh, I'll get this done. I mentioned it in the last stream as well because it gets me every time. Right, that'll do that one. That's the next one. Where are we at? We're nearly at 2 hours. I can't believe that. I'll need to stop gas bagging. I'll do that. It's just getting better with each grit, to be honest. The colours are starting to pop out a lot better. That lake, the bluey green, is absolutely stunning up and through here, because all the darker blue is all tinted, so you can actually look in and see the other colours inside the handle. That's the part I like in here, with you getting the green, which greening through here, and then there's a bit of gold next to it, and gold here as well. You get a little bit of green here, a bit of gold here, a bit of gold here, and different ways it turns, you're actually seeing both the green and the gold. And that's what those two particular colours are good at. Interference colours, that's what they're called. Interference colours, it just come in my head there. Interference colours. So they're a Pearl X powder, and they're called interference, but they have, like I said, they're sort of very subtle in colours, and they're nice when you mix them in with like whites and mica whites and pearl whites, because you get a real, you can actually create like an opaly look just by mixing them together. So I've got all different ones, you know, I've got like interference red, interference green, interference blue, interference gold. There's a few colours I've got there, and when you mix them together they come up like an opal mix of colours, you know. So yes, remember that word, interference. So when I forget it the next time, somebody will be able to say, interference. Right, next one. I do still have a couple of customer brushes I've got to do yet. I've got to do the hybrid for T-Man. I've got to do a wooden lower section handle with a black resin top section. That's another one I've got to do. And there might be one or two others. So I've got David's one up there, Myrtle Burrow with black resin top. We've got T-Man, one Chameleon Burrow hybrid with a 30mm rhodium. Now, Sarjan will be sending me up some rhodium knots, and yours will be one of them, T-Man, but when I'm going to get it I'm not 100% sure at the moment. So I'm just going to delay your handle until such times as I've actually got the knot mate. So it might be a little while yet, because it's better that I size everything to suit the knot for that one. Right, stop the lathe again, we'll give it another little hand rub with this one. We've got about another 4 pads to go after this one, soft touch pads after this one. And then we can think about taking it off, turning it round, parting the waste section off, setting a coin in the bottom. Now I don't think the antique brass is going to look too good in this, so I think it will be the antique silver that will get put into this one on the bottom. And that should set it off nicely. Yeah, it's that silvery white, which is obviously the snow settling on the branches in the photograph and on the ground. It's got so much depth to it, I can tell you. It's just, I wouldn't mind doing one like this for myself, actually. It's stunning. Right, that'll do that one. Sometimes it is hard letting them go away. I think we spoke about that before, Grey Dog, You've got to do it because you end up with, you know, hundreds of bloody handles and brushes. But sometimes when you get really nice ones, it's hard to let them go away. I should be able to possibly sit the 26mm 2-band up here that I've got just to let you see what it's going to look like with a knot in it. Because like I said, it is going down to Sergeant to be fitted with a rhodium, so but I couldn't be happier with it. I might be able to zoom in for you. Let me just see if I can. The camera's just a little bit. Let's see how we'll look there. And let's see if we can get that in a bit there. So let me just turn this around for you a little bit so you can see it all the way around. So there's the bluey green, the water, and obviously the sky up the top of the picture. So we've got blue travelling from one end to the other. We've got the darker blue. We've got some very greeny tinges in the blue there as well, very slight tinges of green. So it was a greeny blue in the water. We've got a little bit more up through here, but the blue is really translucent. And then we've got the other colours either coming down over the top of it or in behind it. And then as we come round, we've got a little bit more green. We get a little bit of green up in here, a little bit of gold creeping in. Just subtle highlights of the colour. Then we've got the, you know, obviously that silvery white with the snow on the branches. I think I've captured it pretty well. There I am, rabbling away again, wasting time, eh? When I should be sanding and parting it off. Okay, we're down to the last grit now, the last pad now anyway, so we'll be turning it round after this one. Had a good downpour of rain last night here too, which was good. Wet the ground a bit. I only just sprayed all the front lawns the other night with the weed and feed, so hopefully that lets it set in now and kills off all the smaller weeds and start getting the lawn looking nice again through for summer. Now that we're on the back side of winter, so okay, a little bit of hand now and then we're ready to turn it round. And that's going to do it, I think. We'll need them again, so we'll leave it sit there for now. I'll get a clean paper towel. Remember to bring the paper towels out this time. Yeah, the sun's out today though. I mean, the any rain that we had last night will get dried up in no time anyway. It's been a bit warmer here the last couple of days, so yeah, it's certainly we're past that winter's part now. Into spring. Okay, that's looking nice. We'll get a bit of shine back in that shortly. Okay, so time to turn it around and part it off, get the bottom ready. We'll just release this chuck. And we will get that back on there, and we use this handle. We'll bring up the tailstock. We'll bring in the tool rest as well. We'll get that in position. Lower it down. Fairly low. That'll do it. Now we'll bring in the So now I'll just take that out a little bit, but I'll leave it fairly zoomed in so you can actually see the cut that I'm doing here with the parting tool. And the parting tool I'm using here is it's only a very short handled one, as you can see, and it did only have the one angle on it, and then I put this other one on it, and I find that that cuts much better. So again, I'll just touch that with a diamond card. That's all it needs, tiny little bit like that. You're not removing a lot of steel. And I'll just check that we've tightened this up enough now. Another little nip up. And that'll do it. Now we'll spin her up, get the revs up a bit. So I'm floating around the 1300 at the moment. So hopefully my head's not in the way. And always make that little relief cut so that the tool's not going to bind up in there, you know. And then off she comes. I'll stop the lathe. And that's the waste bit. Now if I can get that camera to zoom in, it's got a lot of clear in it. It's hard to get it and capture it in the, oh, you can see it on the edge here, around here, you can see a bit of clear in through there. See my finger basically through the edge there. There's a fair bit of clear all around this one in here. So that's just a blue tint, clear tint. And a little bit more around here, more in there, clear. Anyway, that's not getting this handle done, is it? Again, I'm jibber-jabbing on. All right. Just tiny touch down with the tool rest, ever so slightly, and we'll slow it down a bit. We don't need it going as fast as, oh, I've got to put the hole in first. Just lock that off there for a tick. And we'll put the Forstner bit back in now. Now spin her up, slow it down a bit. Nice and slow to start. Now I'll bring it back, set it on 0. And touching, and then go in until I get to 4.5 millimeters. 1, 2, 3, 4.5, and that should do us. So now we can shape that up, remove this again, bring that back, and now I can lift that back up again now, because I don't need to worry about being at the correct height for that too much, as long as I'm about centre. Then I'm just going to, just very, very gently using the wing, just round that over on the inside edge there, get the rest with sandpaper, and then again I'm just going to bring the tool rest round, and I'm just going to take that sharp edge off the bottom. And as you can see, it's only the finest of cuts. And it's just to take the sharp edge off, that's all. And that's all it needs. The rest will come with the sandpaper now. So I just need a little bit of fine sandpaper for that, just to round it a little bit. Just to round the edge over. And also just to sand the bottom edge. Probably need to put more of a curve in that actually. Let me see how I go with the sandpaper. Because it doesn't need much. Yeah, no worries Amber, we'll catch you later, right? Thanks for dropping in. Alright, that'll do it for that. Now we'll go back to the wets. And just give it a final touch up. And then we'll be done. Lovely. I'll do that one. And then I'll do that one. That's that one. that's that one. Alright fellas, that's it. Done and dusty. Now we'll just dry it off. We'll take it over to the buffer and we'll give it a nice buff. Now the GoPro has been back up to its old tricks again. It's turning itself off. So the only good thing about that is it beeps to tell me that it is turning itself off, so I can turn it back on again. Alright, let's get a nice shine on this off the buffer, right? Okay, so we'll take it off. There we go. We shall bring this all around again. That way. We can leave that where it is. Okay, if you want to follow me over to the buffer, we'll head over there and I shall put that one in picture when I come back. So follow me. Over here we go. Put this in my pocket so I don't drop it. Beautiful and shiny. Alright, I'll do that one. I'll just bring it a little bit of this one up. Okay, I think we're there. Okay, set it up there for now. Get my glue board. I'll bring you all back on shot. So we'll bring you back to that shot there. We may have to zoom out a touch. And we'll bring this one up. So we'll go to 3 on that one. And we might be able to zoom that out the other way. And that should do us. And we'll bring the YouTube back up. Oh, you wait till you see this one. Honestly, it is just mind-blowing, this one. I'm really liking this colour. It's hard in here because the lights are not doing me any favours, but you'll get to see this properly in all its glory on when I take the photographs and post them up in a little while. In a little 30-second video clip, you'll see this going round on the little carousel. There's tinges of green and gold, the silvery white with the blue. She's a beauty. I just hope the customer's happy with it. Anyway, we're going to set the coin now. So we'll get a coin out for it. And we'll get rid of the rubbish. We'll set the coin there for a second. I'll get the epoxy, part A, part B, and I just need to get a mixing stick from the other box. Actually, no, it's that box there beside me. So I just need to move the water. And it's this one here. Just need a couple of mixing sticks. I'll get a few out for other streams. So we'll grab that. We've got the handle there. Put a little bit of the good old epoxy up here. Actually, I probably put too much out there because I'm thinking I'm doing a knot as well, but I'm only doing a handle, but not to worry. And we've got the coin here. And we'll just drop some in here. Push it around a bit. Way too much glue, but not to worry. So yeah, this is where you get your rewards for all the time and effort you put in, you know, when you see the handle finished and you're really happy with it. That's when you get your rewards for your hard work. We've got a little bit of glue coming out, not a lot, but a little bit. So we'll get a paper towel and and a rag. We'll get rid of that again now. Sorry, a paper towel and a bit of methylated spirits, or denatured alcohol as they call it in the States. So I got a new bottle the other day when I was at the big hardware store, the big green shed. And I'll put the lid on, because if I don't, I'll spill it for sure. And now we'll just go in and give that a little bit of a clean up around the edge. Just to get any excess away. And there we have it, ladies and gents. Doesn't need any plastics on this handle. It's actually gleaming shiny. So there we have it with the, just let me get camera 2. And there we have the coin set in the bottom. And just another final look at the actual handle, if I can get it in a position where I can show you the real colour. You will see it in the photographs that I do though, in the little 30-second video. It's just absolutely stunning. Shiny as. And you'll probably see the green and the gold, and it just flashes of green and gold. Just different way the lights catch it. Anyway, that's it done, guys. That's our Saturday morning stream. Done and dusted, unfortunately. So I'll just put a couple of little things away, and I'll get ready to shut the stream down now. And just give me 2 seconds till I remove that screen there now. Now I have changed the end screen to show the 9 o'clock starts in the mornings now as well, so just that hour later, so hopefully that's all good. It's a shame Amber had to leave. But she can go back and watch the end of the video. But it might be a case, if you guys over in the States, over the pond, if you just want to let us know whether 9:30 would be better, or you know, whatever, because you know, if it's interfering with your dinner or whatever, I'd rather try and not do that. But anyway, we'll see how we go. So let me just change to camera 1, and yeah, once again, thank you to my loyal followers and the few others that drop in from time to time. Much appreciated. Makes it all the more worthwhile when we have more people in the stream. Yeah, it saves me standing here talking to myself, you know. And so yeah, Amber's back. 9 works good for me. Okay, I'll leave it at 9 o'clock then. Did you see the finished handle, Amber? You did? Lovely. Okay, all good. Like I said, you'll see probably the handle much better in the photographs that I put in the light tent, although the light tent tends to diffuse and take a lot of the shininess out of the blank. Just with the light, it's just diffused. But hopefully you'll see the blend of colour in there a lot better. And anyway, once again, guys, ladies and gents, I should say. I need to try and get out of that habit, guys. Once again, ladies and gents, thank you for joining me at TF Custom Workshop here, and we'll see you all on Tuesday. Now, I do have, like I said, I do have a fair bit to get through and get organised for Tuesday's stream, but hopefully, that's what I was saying about doing the stream on a Saturday morning as opposed to a Sunday night. It gives me that extra time to get things prepared. But I'll see how I go. If I don't get a handle turned, then we'll maybe just run some mock-up timbers, because it's easy enough to just round a couple of timbers over, and then we can play around and do some fluting, both horizontally and which ends up being vertically up the handle. And we may even be able to set it up to do some circular drops in as well on timber. So, but we'll have a look at that. Like I said, it'll be a fairly long stream, that one, just with the amount of fiddling around you've got to do with the jigs and stuff. But if I can get it set up to do the first lot of fluting for the stream, that might make it easier and quicker, and then we can do the angled one whilst we're on stream. But it'll be a good one just to let you see what the process is. It's not an automated process, it's a manual process. You've got to measure and jig, set up the jigs properly, but it should be an interesting one anyway, and it'll let you see the amount of effort and time that has to go into doing it. And then obviously you've got the finishing time after that as well. But anyway, we'll see how we go with that. So I look forward to catching up with you all on Tuesday. So until then, I want you all to take care, stay safe, don't do nothing I wouldn't do, and we'll see you next time on TF Custom Shaving Brushes Workshop. Cheers, see ya. Just get that screen to come up. Doesn't want to come up. Oh, don't tell me it hasn't worked. It mustn't have saved the file over. Let me see if I can rectify that here and now. Possibly not. Might have dropped the file. I'll need to maybe reinstall the filing.